Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another week of the EV Weekly Wrap. My name is Roland and we're here to talk all things about EV news in Australia and across the world actually. So here's all the brands on the top right that you can see that we're going to cover off today, and let's get going through. So first one, we have some big news. Apparently the luxury car tax might actually be scrapped. So for the ones that aren't too familiar, what is the luxury car tax? So the luxury car tax, or the LCT, actually was originally introduced as a means of protecting the Australian or the local vehicle manufacturing industry, predominantly Ford and Holden. That actually did come to an end in 2017, so we're actually in 2025 at the moment, so they've somehow lasted 8 years, and that's been some imposed unnecessary taxes on all of these more expensive cars. Even if they are EVs as well, they do have a higher threshold in terms of the bracket, but nonetheless it is still unnecessary, I guess, for better use of words. Looking at the amount, you can see down the bottom over right here, the LCT raises approximately $1.2 billion in annual revenue and adds 33% to any part of a vehicle price above the threshold, and the figures are over here. So for fuel efficient vehicles, just over $91,000 and about $80,500 for any other vehicles. And so coming back to the original point, why is this thing potentially getting scrapped? The reason really is the Albanese government reportedly will only dump LCT in exchange for better access for Australia's agricultural exports to the EU. So it's all about all the trades. So yeah, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. The only flip side argument is, if the government has been raising that much money, $1.2 billion in revenue that they're potentially going to lose, where is that money going to be coming from now? Because they're going to be wanting money from somewhere else. We do know that there's been the discussion on the EV road user tax, that they're trying to work through a national reform on what that looks like, so potentially something like that is going to come in place. But either way, watch this space. Nothing confirmed as yet, but it is in the talks to finally remove this tax. Let me know what you guys think and we'll keep moving on. Okay, so I want to talk about Mitsubishi's new partnership with a company called Foxtron. So what's happening? They've basically got a new partnership. It's going to be the first in Australia for the partnership with this new EV. It's going to be released in roughly second half of 2026, which means there's just over, say, about 13 months left until we see this car. Now, what are they essentially releasing? Well, rumours are they're going to be releasing similar model to the bottom. So down the bottom over here, you see a Foxtron Model B. Apparently, it's going to be a spin-off of that vehicle, and so it'd be somewhat similar in looks. And yeah, it's going to take on BYD Atto 3, MG, S5 EV, Kia EV3, ZEEKR X. It's going to be that type of that size vehicle. So basically within the 4.5 meter range is probably what we're looking at. And yeah, it's going to be exciting times for Mitsubishi if they're going to release another car. But the one thing that does catch my eye is the comment or the statement over here in the second paragraph. The Pure EV is the latest step in our Momentum 2030 plan and offers another string of our multi-powertrain bow that will see us through to the next decade. So I hope that they are specifically just saying that the Pure EV model will have a powertrain specifically that will take them through the next decade, and they're not saying that the Pure EV model is going to be the car that will take them through to the next decade, because I would hope that they have more than one car up their sleeve to go for at least the next 4 years. Either way, watch this space. I'll keep you guys posted when I hear more. Let's get moving on. Okay, Tesla. We've had so much news on them, and you know what? You can see over here, congratulations to John McHugh, apparently one of the first to receive or to take delivery of the new Model Y in Sydney, Australia. So guys, deliveries have commenced. You'll start seeing them on the roads very soon if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments below if you have already seen one on the roads today, because I still haven't, and I'm sure that I will soon. But that's all the Model Y news that we have. Okay, next we have the Yutong E7S. So we have something new that's been ADR approved. So it's an EV bus this time, not an EV truck. So there are two variants for this EV bus. It is a E7S14 and an E7S17. They essentially signify the maximum seating capacity, which you can see over here. So 14 seats in this one and then 17 seats in this one. Not too much weight difference. You can see tail mass difference of about 50 kilograms only. And then in terms of axle code, it looks to be exactly the same between both. So I guess from a look side of things, you can't really tell too much difference between the exterior of the buses. I was going to say cars. And yeah, it looks quite compact. It looks quite compact, and I think it looks pretty cool. Now, I don't know too much about buses, nor do I know much about trucks, so that's really all the information that we have. But if you guys have any further information on this and you'd like to discuss it or share it with others, please, by all means, drop it in the comment box below. Alright, next up we have Volkswagen ID5 Pro and ID4 GTX. Now you may be thinking, Roland, don't we have these already? So, they're essentially releasing the opposite. So actually, to date, prior to this slide or this being announced, we've had the ID5 GTX and the ID4 Pro. So now they're releasing the opposite. So from the ID4 Pro, you can now move up into the ID4 GTX. Then for the ID5, you could move down from the ID5 GTX down to the Pro. May sound confusing, but basically now what that means is you've got two variations for each of the ID vehicles. So you'll have an ID4 Pro and a GTX. You'll then also have an ID5 Pro and GTX. Price wise, you pause the screen over here and you can have a look at all of the figures. I've got all of the comparisons there for you guys. I'm not going to read through in detail. What I will tell you guys is what differences do you get when you moved into the GTX models. So some of the additional features that you get in the GTX models over the Pro, and this is spanning across both ID4 and ID5. I've got a list over here, so let me read it out. So you get alloy wheels, Y-Stad 20 by 8 fronts, that's 20 by 8 inches, and 20 by 9 inch for the rear. You have black and diamond toned surface. You have sports seats with red stitching and integrated headrests, Harman Kardon premium audio system. And then in terms of options, you have metallic paint for $1,000, premium metallic paint, which is a GTX only, for $1,300. For the ID4 Pro, you can get exterior style packaging, which is essentially a contrasting gloss black roof, silver roof rails, and silver pillar trim and bumper trim. So that's about it. What do you guys think? Is it a car that you like? Is it a car that you've ordered? Would love to hear from you. I feel like the specs are actually quite decent on this car itself. Yet to drive one, so Volkswagen, I'll be reaching out to you, and hopefully we can organise something in the near future. Anyways, let's keep moving on. Next, I'd love to talk to you guys about the Jeep Compass. So they've got, I guess, a couple of variations, and they also do have something called the First Edition. So it's apparently a special limited time special offer, and it's going to have essentially hybrid or battery EV as well. And not only that, you can also get it in both front wheel drive and all wheel drive options. Now, let's focus specifically on the EV version. So you can see up over here, I've got the electric Compass specs, range roughly 500 to 650 kilometers. Obviously, the 500 would most likely be the all-wheel drive. 650 would be just the front-wheel drive. It is absolutely just a front-wheel drive only car. And then maximum DC charging speeds, 160 kilowatt and 22 kilowatt AC, which is actually quite amazing for a car that doesn't look that big. And yeah, battery size 74 kilowatt hours, so not too bad. Now, when is this car coming? Because it is for Australia. First edition is available to order now, with deliveries set to begin in Q4 2025. So that means towards the end of the year. So we're still about 5 months at least. Yeah, 5 or so months away, thereabouts. Now, some of the first edition stuff that you get. So you get 20-inch wheels, you get LED matrix headlights, you get the whole boxy Jeep design. You've got 360-degree protective material that shields the lower of the vehicle from scratches, and you've got cloth and vinyl heated seats, 6-way manual adjustment, 2-way driver lumbar adjustment. Okay, let's keep moving on. Let's talk Cupra Tavascan. So this has generated a lot of heated discussion over the past 24 hours or 48 hours. So Cupra Tavascan has had the ANCAP safety rating, and it's achieved 4 stars, not 5 stars. So where is the discussion? Where are the heated discussions coming from? The heated discussion is really coming from the fact that you look over here. Actually, let's read this bit here. So you can see over here, unlike Cupra Tavascan vehicles sold in Europe, Australian vehicles do not offer an intelligent speed assistance system or speed limit information function to assist the driver in managing the vehicle's speed. What that means is, in the safety assist section, it's been reduced to 67%. There is a threshold of 70% in order to get the full 5-star ANCAP rating score. And so the heated discussion really is about, if you look at all the specs, it is an absolute safe car. It's rated and ranked quite high in these specs, but because it doesn't have some additional safety assistance specifically just for speed recognition, it seems to have copped a 4-star as opposed to 5-star. Now, when would this matter? It would clearly matter, and this is only one reason that I can think off the top of my head. So guys, if you know any other reasons, please by all means drop it in the comment box below. My personal view on this is people will automatically see 4 stars as not safe because there are so many cars that have 5 stars. The other thing as well is, if you're buying a car specifically to enjoy and to also want to do Uber as a part-time or a side hustle, side gig type thing, unless it's on an exemption list, which I actually don't know the process to get your car on the exemption list, the cars must actually be all 5-star ANCAP rating. So unless it's going to be approved, or there's whatever the process is to get the car approved, by default this will not be a car that you can own and drive Uber on the side if it's something you like. Anyways, on the next slide, I've actually got a comparison for you guys, because if we look at the first 3 scores of what this car achieved, as I said, they are pretty high, 80 if not higher. Safety assist is where they've dropped out. I want to show you guys a comparison to show how safe this car is for the adult, child and vulnerable road user protection, parking aside the safety assist, which is currently rated at 67%. So the cars I'm going to show you guys, 2 others that were compared just in 2024, so actually it is still quite recent. So let's jump over to the next slide, and here is your summary. So I've got the Cupra at the top, the Xpeng G6, middle, Leapmotor C10. So those are basically all of the scores you can see there. So actually, adult occupant protection, it's rated pretty much the highest between, well, the same as Leapmotor, but it is the highest compared to all 3 specs. And then child occupant protection at 87 as well, and vulnerable road user protection at 80. So if we're looking specifically at the scores, you could technically say from the adult, child and vulnerable road user protection, it does actually sit pretty much at the top as an average of the scores. So yeah, keen to get your thoughts. I'm in mixed minds at the moment. I mean, on one side, it's great to hear that ANCAP are being very strict, but at the same time, the safety assist for that speed recognition thing, it doesn't always work well, and actually at times it's really annoying because the speed signs, you know, they pick up school zones when you're not in a school zone at that specific time, and it just starts pinging you and so forth. So yeah, either way, always keen to hear your thoughts. Let's talk in the comments, and I'll keep moving on. Alright, so I want to talk about Polestar 2. So there is now a Polestar pre-owned program which introduces battery state of health certificate for used Polestar 2 vehicles. So you can see over here that they're saying there is a rigorous 112-point inspection at an official service point. It provides independent verification of mileage, service and ownership certifications to validate the status of each pre-owned Polestar. And each one also has a 24-month warranty and the remainder of the 8-year battery warranty offered. Now, just for clarity, the 8-year battery, that is 8 years or 160,000 kilometers, or in miles is 100,000 miles, whichever one comes first. And in terms of the percentage, it's if the battery drops below 70% of its original capacity within the first 8 years of when the car was first registered, it'll get covered under warranty. You guys will get a new battery in your Polestar too. Now, this was on the press release. I'm not too sure if this is available in Australia as yet because it didn't specifically mention that, but hopefully this will come soon, and hopefully this paves the way as a total standard thing that manufacturers are going to offer, because I think that's absolutely crucial for you guys to take that into consideration as a part of your purchase. Alright, let's keep moving on. I want to talk now about ZEEKR. So, I'm not going to read line by line, so if you guys want to read more of the details, just pause the screen here. The long story short is ZEEKR is set to go private as Geely announces full acquisition of the NYSE, which is their New York Stock Exchange listed EV unit. So, as you know, ZEEKR Group is the subsidiary of Geely Automobile Holdings, and Geely currently holds 65.7% of ZEEKR, and it aims to purchase the outstanding shares at 13.6% premium over the latest closing price, which I think was roughly, 20 something US dollars per share. So they put some reasoning there, which is more about, consolidating EV operations for efficiency. So I think that's a very, very good thing that they're doing. They're being smart with their money, and fingers crossed that the brand continues to grow, because it's a funky brand, and I love the look of their cars. Anyways, let's keep moving on. I've got one slide this week on cars that have been spotted or spied. This guy's here is apparently the new BMW iX3. So some of the key things that we can see, or things that stick out, is these two horns. I actually have no idea what they are. Guys, if you know or you have any speculation to what these two things are, please let us know in the comments below, because I could not work out what that was. Anyways, besides that point, the only thing that really sings out to me when I'm looking at this car is the grills. It looks to be, a lot more flatter, back like the previous generation's X3, as opposed to how they've got the 3 Series at the moment with the really big kidney grills, if that's what you call it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And lastly, June 30, end of financial year. We are currently in the pretty much second week of May, which means there is roughly 6 or so weeks until end of financial year. And what does that mean? That means more shopping, more deals. I'm going to have a video that's going to come up sometime in the next couple of days. I'm going to gather some of the EOFY deals for you guys to see. I'll keep it very short and simple. Just going to go over the brands and what the sales or what the financial year offers are going to be, so that you have it all in one place. And if it's a car that you want, jump on in, go have the discussion with the manufacturer, see if you can hit up a deal, and then let me know, because I'm always in for a bargain. And that takes us to the end of the video. If you guys have stayed for the entire thing, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. If you haven't done already, make sure you give the video a like, subscribe for more content. If you haven't done so already, make sure you click the notification bell icon so that you get notified every time I release the weekly news and anything else in the world of EVs and tech. Thanks again to my channel members. Thanks again to my subscribers. Thank you again for watching. Hope you guys have a good weekend. It's Mother's Day this weekend, at least in Australia. So if you guys are celebrating, happy Mother's Day in that regard. And yeah, see you guys for more content soon. Take care.